For 2024, Kia has refreshed their best-selling subcompact crossover, the Kia Seltos. I'm in the SX trim, which comes at nearly $32,000. In today's video, I'm going to tell you if you should be buying this top-of-the-line Kia Seltos, or should you be going for the well-equipped lower models. Also, are there other Kias in the lineup that I would pick over this? Let's get into it. First things first, beautiful updated Kia logo there. This hood is very heavy. It'd be nice if they updated this to aluminum, but underneath on this SX grade, and the X-Line grade, they both have the 1.6 liter turbocharged engine mated to an 8-speed automatic, 195 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. This is exclusive all-wheel drive here on the Seltos with this turbo. Looking at the front end, so this SX has some unique features. We have the star map daytime running lights that go across the portion of the grille. Now, this is the tiger nose grille. It has been enlarged for this 2024 refresh. And I do like the detail. Check this out. Look at this checkerboard sort of texture going on right here with the glossy black. I think it looks very, very unique and premium at the same time for this Seltos. Now, this SX grade has LED projector headlights and unique LED projector fog lights here at the corner as well. I think it looks quite unique, and Kia's done a great job with their styling. Most of their cars nowadays look pretty darn good. Now, coming to the side here, we have unique 18-inch wheels here on this SX grade. The X-Line also has 18-inch wheels. The other grades have smaller wheels, of course. And from the side, it definitely looks premium. I like the contrast of the black roof, the silver roof rails, the bottom portion of the window surround with a little aluminum and the black glossiness at the bottom. That really breaks up what would be a bunch of just matte black plastic, that glossy black strip at the bottom. So overall, I've always liked the looks of the Seltos, and I like the short overhangs. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick that up that well, but I love how subcompact it is. So many of the competitors out there with the new redesigned Kona, as well as I saw an HRV earlier driving here, they've all gotten bigger, and the Seltos still feels pretty tiny when you drive it, and that's one of its most charming factors in my opinion. Coming to the back, I love these updated rear taillights that have a similar star map sort of design, where that brake light goes pretty much all the way across as a light bar, but it's broken up by the Kia logo. The 4X letting you know that this is a four-wheel drive model. Lifting this up, it is not automated. That's something that we do see on the top of the line refreshed, or should I say redesigned Kona. Make sure to watch my Kona review and driving impressions. I like the Kia stamped mat here. Do we have a spare tire? And the answer is yes. We have it's more of a donut, but hey, it's better than no spare tire. And hey, you can actually use a lot of this space underneath of here for additional cargo. I made a big grocery run, was able to fit tons of stuff in here, as well as huge water bottles in the back seat. So quite functional, and there is a handle to pull that down. But let's get in the back seat. Been taking my kids to school in here this week. They have had no problems, but the materials, hard touch here at the top, but I like this glossy black here to break up what would be just a dull experience. Soft touch here on the armrest. Look at this textured speaker grill. Who's doing sort of things like that? I love that. Now, this has Syntex interior right here. Unfortunately, we have hard touch on the back of this seat, no mat pocket on this side. Luckily, we have a mat pocket on that side. But yeah, these seats are very comfortable, very smooth. I couldn't tell that if it was synthetic leather or real leather. Cup holder armrest here, 2 USB-Cs in the back, a little storage space. And then, hey, this is great for the segment. We have rear vents back here. I know a lot of the competitors, like the HRV comes to mind, that doesn't have rear vents at all. And I don't even know if it has USBs in the back of that. So love the functionality back here, as well as the creature comforts. This seat is set up for me at 6'1". I do have a little bit of leg room here, not the most, but if you're getting a subcompact crossover, you probably don't need to put people in the back very often. Look, I have good headroom. I'm not touching the top at all. It feels much more roomy and spacious compared to, let's say, the CX-30 that I test drove just a couple of weeks ago. We have handles over each and every door, which is great. Getting onto the interior, we do have hard touch here at the top. It's pretty much a mimicking of that back door, but a little bit larger here. And then we have the Bose sound system that's unique to this SX grade. At night, it turns into a Korean nightclub with the sound and the lights that are illuminated inside the Bose speakers jiving with the music. It's crazy. The window controls are only automatic driver side. All the other ones you have to hold down, which I feel like they could have done at least the front passenger here on the top of the line SX grade. All right, this seat is heated here, and it is power on this side. Let's go ahead and get on the inside. Closing the door. Pretty good door slam overall. This is built in Korea, and the build quality here does actually feel pretty fantastic in my opinion. All right, so in the front, you're gonna notice two big screens. These are actually available on the much lower trim levels, which is great. We have Android Auto here, but I have to wire it in. On the base grade, I think it is wireless, but it's a much smaller screen with the volume knob and tuning knob up here, instead of down here on this, you know, fancier model with the digital screen. And the screens do wrap around. This does kind of face the driver a little bit, which I appreciate. Now, these are 10-inch screens. I think they're adequately large for this vehicle. I like the tech in here. The new Kona, for example, around this price point gives you two 12-inch screens. Climate control in here is quite good. I do wish the fan control buttons were a little bit closer to my volume knob, but that's just a really small complaint. We have a wireless charger pad right here, and then we have a 12-volt, 180-watt accessory USB-A to connect your Android Auto, and then you also have a USB-C there for additional charging. Drive modes, center differential lock, heated seats here. We do not have a 360 camera. We do not have ventilated seats like you see on the new redesigned Kona, for example, but I do really like this shifter. It feels great. I like that traditional functionality instead of having like a push button setup going on. Couple cup holders here, and it's just plastic. There's no rubber gasket in here to reduce any noises. And then the inside, we have a really small compartment, but that's what I would expect for such a small car. Unfortunately, there is no sunroof in here, but that does give me tons of headroom at the same time. All right, taking off in the refresh Seltos here. Like I mentioned on the outside, with the short overhangs and the compact nature, this does feel very, very small, easy to park, easy to maneuver. I like the handling in here. The steering is pretty stiff, to be honest, something I wasn't expecting. So when you throw it in the turns, it feels really planted. Get a little bit of body roll as you would expect if I just pull into here real quick, but it does track very predictably. And let's go ahead and get into the brakes real quick. I've had no issues with the predictability of this brake pedal. So Kia's nailed down the handling, in my opinion. They've nailed down the brake pedal. What about this turbocharged engine though? It's the same verdict I had with the Kona, which uses the same powertrain on the top trims. And this little 1.6 liter turbo has a lot of turbo lag. Now, the turbo lag I can maybe get used to as I throw this in the turn, which is fun to do here. And I try to power out. There it goes. Once the turbo spools, it's ready to party. But here's the thing. The 8-speed auto isn't doing any favors to I honestly think this would be better mated to the CVT. And the reason is because I put the pedal down. Yeah, you're waiting not only for it to downshift, but then you're waiting for the turbo to spool as well. So there's just a lot of waiting around with this powertrain, and it's not premium feeling, even though pretty much the rest of the car feels really, really nice, looks nice, feels nice on the inside. This powertrain is the big letdown, in my opinion. And I just drove a Kia Seltos maybe a month ago with the 2-liter CVT setup. I surprisingly really liked that setup. I thought it was very responsive, even though it only has 147 horsepower, about 50 horsepower less than this guy. Yeah, I felt like it was a great experience, and it probably gets better fuel economy than this too. Speaking of fuel economy, I'm seeing 24 miles per gallon, and I always have the AC going, and that's all city driving for the most part. So it's supposed to get about 25 miles per gallon in town, so we're close to that. Now for this segment, I do feel like Kia's done a great job keeping noise at a minimum here. It's very, very quiet. Maybe not as quiet or as removed from the engine as the new redesigned Kona, but I feel like it's definitely towards the top of the class. Honda HR-V comes to mind. That's very, very quiet and kind of removed from the environment as well. So well done, Kia, with the noise suppression in here. And in normal driving, I have no issues with the powertrain, especially from a stop. It keeps up with traffic, but the 2-liter would do the same as well in the lower trim levels. But what's funny is that this week I've had an Audi e-tron, which is $93,000. And yes, that is a better handling vehicle than this. It's totally different, right? It's an EV. I much prefer to drive my kids around, to drive around town in this vehicle. It's lighter, it's easier to just throw around, and I'm not like, I love the controls in here. And that e-tron, Oh my gosh, it's just touchscreen everything, and it is not a warm or inviting experience. And in here, I don't have to think. I just get in here. It works exactly how I expect it to. Other than one thing, I wasn't able to defeat or figure out how to customize those dancing LED lights that go on the dash and the door panels inside the speaker grills. I couldn't figure out how to turn that off or just chill it out, because when you're pumping the tunes in here, it's going to definitely catch your eye. I do a blind spot monitor on here, which I believe is available on pretty much all but the base grade. Sitting here, I really appreciate that this has memory auto brake hold. Now I'm 6'1". I have never felt like I'm cramped in here. I've always felt like I've had plenty of room. So Kia's done a great job kind of hollowing out this door to allow my arms to flow into it. The armrests are very soft. These seats are super comfortable, even though my legs are maybe a little bit long for the bottom cushion, but that's just about every single car out there. So the ergonomics are great. You can get to the volume knob really easily. The steering wheel feels great with this leather wrapped. And yeah, the safety controls are right here at my fingertips, as well as interacting with this screen behind here. So I have no issue, and just resting my hand here on the shifter here and drive, it feels perfect, almost perfect. Like I said, the fan control is a little bit out of reach, as you can kind of see. Wish it was a little bit closer, but I'm not pressing it all that much, to be honest. So that's, like I said, a very small gripe. Now we're gonna put it into sport mode, one of 3 driving modes. It's normal, sport, and smart. It doesn't drive that much differently, to be honest, than normal mode. So I just keep it in normal mode. Sport makes the throttle a little bit more responsive, but doesn't make the transmission more responsive. And that's the big downfall here, as well as the combo effect, like I said, with that turbo lag. So if I do pedal down, there is a big waiting around. And yeah, I think the CV2, the 2 liter, is going to be the way to go. And I think that's a good segue into the office, where we're going to do the buying guide for the refresh 2024 Kia Seltos. We're at the Seltos building page, and the LX starts at $24,390, but the LX, check this out. So the LX does not have the Star Map upgraded headlights. So not going to recommend that. I like the extra flare here, as well as the S gets blind spot monitor. So you get better looking lights. You get fog lights too, which the base LX doesn't have. So the S is actually the way I'm going to go, because check this out. If we go on the inside, the S doesn't have heated seats, but whatever. Like, I like the cloth and Syntex combination here. It's not going to be as cold in the winter as the, let's say, Puron Syntex, but we have the dual screens here, the fully digital. If we look at the base LX grade, yeah, it still has a digital-ish screen over here, and then, like I said, that really small screen over here, but it should have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. We have simplified controls on the LX. This is definitely a more premium experience. Now, for $25K, I think it's a good buy. The X-Line with the turbo, the SX, I just can't recommend it due to the prices of other vehicles. So let's see what is in my area for the S model with the 2 liter and the very responsive CVT. Check this out. $23K, I think that's a great buy. If you're spending much over $25K on the Seltos, I think you could be getting better vehicles. But if $23 to $25K is too big of a stretch, check out this Kia Soul. There's some Souls in my area for around $20,000. Really liked the Soul, thought it was really charming, lots of interior cargo space, and was zippy enough with that 2 liter. You just won't be able to get all-wheel drive. By the way, all-wheel drive on the Seltos is a $2,200 option. Absolutely not worth it. Just put snow tires on or something, because that is way too much money for all-wheel drive on this subcompact crossover. All right, other vehicles. If you're spending over $25K on the Seltos, there are better Kias out there actually to spend your money on. The Kia Niro Hybrid, the LX. Now, it's not going to be maybe quite as well equipped as like the $32,000 SX near Seltos, but check out 28,000. You're going to get 50 miles per gallon on this thing, and it's just as versatile, if not more. Also, the Kia Sportage is about $28,000 for the hybrid as well, and this has the more powerful hybrid setup. So I would be picking this if you're spending the upper 20s to low 30s looking at the Seltos. I get it if you need a smaller package. You need a smaller vehicle for your garage or your parking space or whatever. Now, there's also the Corolla Cross Hybrid, which is one of my favorite subcompact crossovers. You can get 40 miles a gallon. You're going to have way better acceleration than the turbo Seltos as well. It doesn't handle as well, in my opinion, and maybe the sound isolation isn't quite as good, but in my opinion, I'd be picking this over the top of the line Seltos. So the Seltos is really, really strong. Like I said, in the low to mid 20s, I think it's a great buy. I like this color combination, the yellow and the black here. Got the alloy wheels. It's got that's a 2023 model. That's not even the refresh. Hold on. So actually the pre-refresh, I'd be picking up some of those leftover deals if you can get it, because if I look at some of the S for 2024, they're over $26,000. Yeah, I would be picking a Kia Soul absolutely at that point, or spend a little bit more to get a Niro hybrid, or like a Corolla Cross hybrid, or the Sportage hybrid as well. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know which trim level, how much you would be willing to spend on Seltos. Let me know if you'd be picking a different Kia or just a competitor. I'll see you guys down below. Really like the Seltos. It is kind of expensive, especially as you get up into the trim levels. But I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button if you made this far. Appreciate you. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.